Hey, welcome in.
Welcome to the Arrowhead Addict podcast.
We are here coming to you live.
Let me tell you, the dopamine, it's flowing.
I am damn excited.
We are so excited to be joining you guys tonight.
Oh! Well, how you doing, man? Patrick.
Will Sterling.
Yeah.
Super Bowl champion, two-time Pro Bowler, and Trent Green. Trent Green, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
He picked it up! He picked it up! He's gonna score!
And we'll see you next week. But until then, as always, go Chiefs.
Patrick just dropped out. It doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. My name is Matt Connor. I'm the temporary host here at Arrowhead Addict. We're going live. Oh,
what's happening?
Patrick, you dropped out.
I dropped out.
You dropped out like Rashee Rice dropped out of week 1 of the San Diego Chargers. I'm trying to segue this
San Diego
as I can.
It's an emergency podcast. It's pandemonium. It's our second emergency podcast in as many days. Yesterday, I went live and talked about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for 40 minutes. So I think we could top that today. Patrick Allen, Matt Connor here with you for an emergency podcast on the Arrowhead Addict channel. Make sure you hit that like button. It has happened, as Matt mentioned. Rashee Rice is suspended for the first 6 games of the season, which is surprising because I was told that the NFL was favoring the Chiefs by not suspending him for the beginning of the season. So I don't know where the conspiracy theorists are, but Matt Connor's with me. He's the editor-in-chief of Arrowhead Addict and, of course, co-host here on the Arrowhead Addict podcast. Matt, what does it mean? Explain to the people what it all means.
What a wild day. I actually tweeted this first thing this morning. I thought a deal was coming because it was clear the Chiefs knew something was happening. Roster cuts yesterday. Obviously, we were all shocked by a few things. The primary takeaway, however, was that they kept 8 receivers. That meant that, like, if you read the tea leaves, you knew there was something. And it wasn't just an injury to Jalen Royals. They kept Jason Brownlee. They kept Nico Remigio. They kept Tyquan Thornton. Every one of those guys were considered at one point roster long shots or on the bubble. So keeping 8, and like if you just keep 7 if you need Rashee, if you're going to have Rashee around and you still like those guys. So, yeah, this is big, but I think the Chiefs knew it. I think they were braced for it. We could talk about the fallout. We could talk about the games missed. But I think the main thing here is the drama. I think my main takeaway is that Rashee just wanted to put this behind him. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and I think the Chiefs wanted to get on with it. Yeah, are you hearing me? I'm having internet issues. I'm having a tree cut down right now, so apologies for that. It could be messing with things, but they wanted to move on and get this suspension done and over with. It's better for them to lose him at the beginning of the season than to lose him randomly at some unforeseen time, so that they can plan for it and practice for it. And that's what's happened here. So the NFL probably wanted more games than this. This is a compromise. So the NFL may have wanted 8. They might have wanted 10. And I think 6 is about what I expected. 4 would have been a dream.
Yeah, I'll just add this. The NFL reportedly wanted 10 to 12 games. I can't imagine more than half a season for this. And we could talk about that if you want. I think the league is being completely unfair on this. No one would ever defend what Rashee Rice did, including the receiver himself. He owns it. He's paid the damages. He says, quote, "I've been completely changed since it happened." But there were no substances involved at all. There wasn't like a gun, other crimes, where other players have gotten DUI plus reckless driving and served far less games than this. So the fact that the league was on a witch hunt in the first place, it all just felt so off in that the league has no consistency, no transparency whatsoever in the way they approach these things. So that said, Rashee Rice fought it. The NFLPA on his side, they used the processes in place to be able to get a neutral third-party arbitrator to rule on it. That ruling wasn't supposed to come until after week 4 on September 30. At this point, though, I think the Chiefs, they go to Rice or maybe vice versa and say, look, this complicates a lot of things. Roster construction, decisions we have to make, where every roster spot is crucial. That's why you only keep 2 quarterbacks. That's why you really stretch things out when you can. And so I think both parties could look at each other and go, look, the NFL would come down on this. If they would play ball, pun intended there, with us a little bit more, they're going to levy 6. We could accept that, and everybody could put this behind him. What'd you think?
Yeah, this is the right move. You're right. The NFL, people deserve to be punished for doing this stupid stuff. It's not a right to play in the NFL. It's a privilege, but there's just no consistency with it. They change what they're doing and how they suspend people based on how the PR winds are blowing. It's ridiculous for such a expensive, a league that makes so much money, that has so much influence, that can't figure out a way to get its act together to just institute something and stick with it. And I know they have to deal with the union and stuff like that, but I'm with you. Nobody wanted this. The Chiefs didn't want this hanging over their heads going into the season. The NFL, it's bad. It's bad, for them, because if he's getting suspended after week 4, every broadcast that the Chiefs are on early in the season, they're going to be like, that's Rashee Rice. He's going to be suspended at some point this season. Like they don't want the bad publicity. So just do it now. Just have the suspension, come to an agreement, 6 games. It sucks for the Chiefs, but it's not like we didn't know this was coming. And the Chiefs have known this was coming since the moment it happened.
Yes.
Right? He's going to prison. Like he's going to have to serve 30 days in jail. So this is a big deal. And the Chiefs were able to plan accordingly. Whereas last year when they lost him in the middle of the season, they were not anticipating that. They didn't know that, they thought they were going to have Rashee Rice out there. It was going to give him time to develop Xavier Worthy and all this and that. Well, this year they knew. They got Jalen Royals. They got Juju Smith-Schuster back. They have some weapons here. Tyquan Thornton is a deep threat, a step forward for Xavier Worthy. Hollywood Brown, if he's ever healthy. They have options here. This is a deep wide receiver room that I think can be productive. But no doubt that this makes things a lot harder on the Chiefs. And the person, in my view, that is the most important in all this, that really needs to step up for the first 6 weeks of the season, when he's probably going to be the freshest he'll be, is Travis Kelce.
Yeah, that's a great point. I do think though last year the offense pivoted away from Kelce. Like Rashee is the guy that the offense runs through at this point. He is the trusted target. He is the volume target. And without him, the offense just can't function similarly. And here's where I think the wrinkle gets really interesting in how the Chiefs approach this. Jalen Royals, who was the 4th round pick, was like called a Rashee Rice-like prospect, Rashee light sort of thing, in that he's great with yards after the catch, can take the contact, generate some good yard. You get him on the move. He's going to really claw for more yards and make those big gains as a volume target too. The problem is that yesterday in Andy Reid's presser, he mentioned 3 guys who were on the mend. He said 2 of those guys are coming back soon, but Jalen Royals with knee tendonitis is taking longer than expected. So at the very point where he's going to be needed or could be sort of filling in that role, Royals is kind of out. He was also going to be a 4th round rookie pick who was never going to pick up a lot of that. I think the wrinkle here is that the Chiefs are going to have to rework on the fly their offensive scheme overall, their plan. You're right. Travis Kelce takes on a little bit more importance than maybe he would have to start. Tyquan Thornton is now in. Jason Brownlee's now in. They can reward the Chiefs' belief in them. Xavier Worthy. You have other targets and they should be fine. It's just that when Rashee comes back, they're going to have to rework a lot to put people back into places that they're going to have to step into over these next 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The good news is that, like I said, they've got time to plan for it. They've got time to scheme. And the question is going to be, look, I do think Travis is going to be better this year. I've been saying it all offseason. He's looked better. I mean, that last preseason game, that looked like, now, how long into the season can he look like that? Can he keep up that level of fitness just because of his age during the rigors of an NFL season? I don't know, but they're going to need him to be a chain mover for them. Maybe the offense doesn't run through him. Maybe they mix things up, but they're going to need him to continue to move the chains for this team, help them get first downs in critical situations. And then everybody else has to step up. This has got to be by committee. It's not going to be like Xavier Worthy's going to turn into a wide receiver 1 or something. It's going to be, you're going to need plays from Brownlee. You're going to need plays from Juju Smith-Schuster. You're going to need Hollywood Brown to make plays, Jalen Royals when he's healthy. And they're going to need the running game to work. Isaiah Pacheco looks better than he did last year, and that's good, because if they can't run the football, it's going to be a lot more challenging given some of the defenses that they're facing and the pass rushes that they're facing. They're going to want to stay ahead of the sticks. And like Rashee Rice is your stay ahead of the sticks guy. You run a little slant with him. You get yourself in second and third and manageable. So they cannot have situations where they hand the ball off on first down and Isaiah Pacheco runs right into the back of Creed Humphrey and they get 1 yard. That's not going to work for this team. And they can't just rely on, as good as Andy is with the screen game, screens to Xavier Worthy, because sometimes you run those and you get tackled for a 2-yard loss. So it will, I think, if somebody emerges or the group emerges, set this team up for a potential Super Bowl run, because this is a chance for Brownlee. It's not going to be Juju, right? But somebody like Brownlee or Tyquan Thornton to step in and really claim the trust of Patrick Mahomes during the six-week stretch. That's the key to this offense working, is Patrick Mahomes trusting his targets. So if Travis can do his thing and one of these guys can step up and earn that trust, when Rashee Rice comes back, baby, watch out.
Yeah, I do think here that you could be right in terms of a greater emphasis on the ground game too. Remember, part of the offense early on is going to have to be easing in Josh Simmons and Kingsley Suamataia on the left side. That's going to go much better, especially at left guard. If you're emphasizing more of the ground game, he's a natural mauler there. It's going to work well. Certainly Creed and Trey are going to love that. And so I think with that, Pacheco's going to be motivated in a contract season. He's coming back. He looks like he's got the juice. That could make things different. Let's not forget this too. Noah Gray's target share has grown really impressively. Last year, he was on the verge of 50 targets. He had 49. I could see him clawing his way into that 60 range this year, which would actually put him in the NFL's top 25 in terms of target share. The Chiefs could have 2 guys in that, utilizing that 12 personnel, maybe a little bit more, especially if Rice is out. So yeah, I think the Chiefs have some flexibility here. I think you're right. The committee approach is going to be interesting to see. And of course that could change week to week, but it starts in Sao Paulo, Brazil against the Chargers next Friday night.
And you're going to see Andy loves to do this. You're going to see so many different formations and packages. He's going to run Brownlee and Juju out there. Then he's going to run Tyquan Thornton and Xavier Worthy and Juju. And they're going to be running on and off the field. Snap counts are going to be all kinds of crazy and wonky. But I think you're right about that run game. You want to help Kingsley Suamataia, who struggles in pass protection, but probably feels a lot more confident getting out there. And look, all offensive linemen, they hate pass protection, right? They want to run block, get out there. They hate being on their heels. Starting games, if they can gash these teams, especially these teams with the strong pass rush, running behind Josh Simmons and Kingsley Suamataia and Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, it's gonna help Kingsley and Josh settle into the game, and it's gonna make those pass rushers who are the Eagles. You don't think the Eagles are going to be coming in that game, and the Chargers are going to be looking at the left side of that line. Those pass rushers aren't going to be licking their chops. All right, Rook, welcome to the NFL. All right, Kingsley, they're going to be jawing him up out there, talking about how he failed as a left tackle and now he's going to fail as guard. They're going to be saying that crap to him, and they're going to try to get into his head. And the Chiefs, the best thing they can do is come out and run it right down their throats, put those guys on their heels, build the confidence in these young guys, and then they can work the play action game. And then Andy can get his screens going. And then they just don't, they do such a great job of when they're going up against a good pass rusher of just making their heads spin. They think the play's getting, and then they get frustrated and they can't let those guys. So it's Andy. So God knows he'll probably come out and throw 40 straight passes in the first game. But I'd love to see them try to do that to help these young guys build their confidence and slow down these pass rushes.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about a number of targets. We've talked about a number of players that they could turn to. I think that shows the good thing in the wake of the Rashee Rice suspension. Missing 6 games, 4 very tough games in there. Chargers, Eagles, Lions, and Ravens. Those are the 4 bigs in that span of time. He will come back week 7 at Arrowhead against the Las Vegas Raiders on October 16th. That will certainly be a date that Chiefs Kingdom will cross. But yeah, I think it's committee approach until then. I think there's a lot to figure out until then. But if there's anything heartening in this, in terms of for those who are concerned about how will we do without Rashee Rice, Matt Nagy said just a couple weeks ago, he said, look, we knew this was coming. We planned for all contingencies. We've been all over this since the spring in terms of what we would do when we lose him, because we knew we would lose him at some point. So this is not surprising to anyone at Arrowhead. They knew exactly what's going on and they're planning for it.
And if they can navigate this opening stretch without Rashee Rice, the exciting thing is then he comes back. And yeah, there'll be some rust and they'll have to work him in and all that. But all the stuff that they worked on all summer with Rashee Rice, ain't nobody going to have any tape of that. They're not going to know what to expect. So just get through those first 6 games. If you're the Chiefs, win 4 or 5 of them, and then you get Rashee Rice back. And if everybody else is healthy, and then he's coming back into a situation where, Kingsley and Simmons have played a healthy number of games. They've gone up against really good pass rushers. Everything should get easier for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah. One more note. I'd say a semi-bold prediction. Is that a thing? Maybe it's just a prediction, whatever.
Yeah.
I still think Rashee hits 100 targets this year. Even with the suspension. I just think when he comes back, everyone's going to go, oh, I don't think I realized just how much Mahomes is going to depend on this guy when he's healthy. Remember, Brett Veach said, we thought Rashee was turning into a top 10 NFL wideout. They're going to treat him like that.
Yeah, it's exciting. I hope you're right. And my bold prediction was that Travis Kelce was going to have 1,000 yards this year, and a lot of people scoffed at me. What now? What now? If he's young, if he's thin and he's spry and he's got 6 games as the number 1 target, he might have 1,000 yards. No, he's not gonna have 1,000 yards before Rashee gets back, but he'll be well on his way. All right. We got to get out of here, everybody. It's an emergency podcast. We got to get back to writing on the website. Matt, anything else you want to say about Rashee, the Chiefs, the cut down, and of course, the Kingdom's Queens will be up later tonight with their show.
No, I mean, I think the Chiefs will be just fine. I think Rice will be missed, but they knew this was coming. And I do agree. It's in the best interest of everyone to put this behind them rather than fight one game or another, the amount of this. It was just too much to keep up in the air.
Yep. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And if the Chiefs are healthy and they're rolling at the end of the season, another Super Bowl run could be on the horizon, and a little bit of adversity is a good thing. All right, everybody, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for producer Richard for getting us up and running on a quick emergency podcast. Thank you to Matt Connor. Make sure you're on arrowheadaddict.com reading all the incredible work he and the team are producing every single day. There could still be moves coming for the Chiefs, cuts, guys coming back on and off the roster, people heading to IR, all that kind of stuff. So you need to keep it right here on arrowheadaddict.com and the Arrowhead Addict YouTube channel for all your Chiefs news, updates, and analysis before we get this season kicked off next Friday in Sao Paulo, Brazil. All right, we'll see you guys later tonight for the Kingdom's Queens. But until then, for Matt Connor, for producer Richard, I'm Patrick Allen. Go Chiefs.